Hello and welcome back, Squirrel Nation. To begin, thank you to all of our Squirrel Nation members. I really appreciate your support. Diving into today's video, it is going to be a different format. What I'm doing is reviewing all the feather synergies. So I'm going to start by giving you different clips of mid-game feather fights, and then I'm going to end the video with two different really fun feather builds that I've been using, Feather Demon and Feather Dragon. So I hope you all enjoy. Here we go with me being a 3 feather, 3 assassin versus a 3 hunter team. Hunters you would expect to be the counter to assassin or 2 feather. That's why I think I like mixing in early assassins with feather, because it does help them deal a little bit better with a hunter. As you're going to see in this round, I think I do lose this. Yes, we do. But later in the video it gets better. So here is a hybrid 3 feather, 3 assassin versus 6 assassin. By the way, the reason I'm showing these mid-game builds is because to me, late game feather does not perform well. It's not that strong because, as you can see now, it gets countered by 6 assassins pretty heavily. So there's really no late game build that's really strong like the warriors or the mages that feather counters. So that's why I'm showing mid-game, different things you can try to use feather synergies to power spike in the mid game. I think feather's advantage is that they can level, they can get those 2-star, 3-star units really early in the game, and then you can use your tempo lead to go into late game and win. And you'll see that at the end of this clip when I end with the 2 fun builds for all of you to try, the Feather Demons and Feather Dragons. But before that, I wanted to show you all this. So anyways, those were all fights when I was even with my enemy. So now what I did is I tempo leveled. We talked about feather has advantage from tempoing. And here you go. Now we're fighting the hunter again. And you can see totally different results. So this is the benefit. Also, another thing in this game is I'm not really high rolling. If you notice, my Warpwood Sage is only 1 star. I don't have a 3-star yet, that type of thing. Here was actually something surprising to me, is versus Glacier. So here I am 1 level ahead of this Glacier player, and you can see that the tempo did get me through, but overall the fight actually just went pretty good in general. So I think Feather versus Glacier performs better than I expected, to be honest. Okay, at this point in the video, I've hit my 6 feather synergy. We just hit that by putting in the Wisp Seer, and now once again I'm using those assassins. In this game and in some of my other games, I do eventually go for 6 feather, 6 assassin, which is pretty solid. The only time I really keep that is if I don't hit good legendaries or something like that. In general, I don't recommend 6 feather, 6 assassin. It's just not really that optimal. There's other better things you could do, like just go for assassins and try to get your assassins to 3 stars. But in this game, I was just getting a lot of assassins, and I was trying to force feather so I could practice it, just like in our prior video. And we can see how this goes. You can see that I'm barely going to pull this out, but I'm basically pulling it out because of the Abyssal Crawler carry. So if I didn't have that Abyssal Crawler, then, you know, that probably wouldn't look the same. So here is the enemy I'm fighting is 6 assassin, 3 feather, so we're basically opposite. I went for the 6 feather, he went for the 6 assassins. And you'll see here, the 6 assassins flat out counters feather in my opinion. The reason for that is because 1 crit and your feather units are dead. So the feather units don't have huge HP if you don't hit those 3 stars. And even though the avoidance helps, as soon as the assassins crit you once, you're dead, right? So to me, in a lot of these clips I'm showing, you'll see that more and more. You'll see when we're fighting against a feather, it's not really helping all that much. So here we go, the Glacier Knight again, and this time he's still the same level as me in this clip, and then in a future clip I believe I show where he's even with me in level. In this clip, you'll notice I'm not dominating him as hard, and the reason why is because he's hit his 2 stars. So if you go back to the other fight, he was lower star level. This fight, he's higher star level. And you can still see that he doesn't pull it out because of that level advantage. And then also I would say Feather does well earlier in the game against Glacier. Here is a Glacier Warrior, and the reason I pointed out that this is the top player on the North American ladder is because Glacier Warrior is a pretty top build right now. and this is played by literally the best player on the North American server currently. So, and I'm using this 6-feather assassin build, and it's actually performing pretty well against his Glacier Warrior build. So I wanted to share this just to let you all know that I think if Feather does counter something, it's actually probably Glacier stuff. And once again, that's surprising to me. I didn't expect it to counter Glacier so well. So anyways, we're on to our fun builds. So fun build number 1 is Feather Demons. As you can see, I kind of high rolled a Rogue Guard. I even got him to 2-star. We have the Fallen Witcher and the Taboo Witcher. The reason I thought about it is because you already have the Taboo Witcher into 6-feather builds, and then you can, the Rogue Guard is really good mid-game, so he fits really well into 6-feather. And then you have that Rogue Guard you can add, and then you got kind of that Demon Cleave stuff going on. So it was just a build that I really wanted to try. And I hit it because I got lucky and got a Rogue Guard. So I just want to show this gameplay. This was super fun build. So anyways, here is the Demon Feather versus a Warrior Beast. And this is where like the Demon, the Cleave kind of helps. And also you can see the DPS meter was another thing I was trying to show. Actually, even though you have all this going on, and unfortunately the DPS meter, I should have scrolled it a little bit better, but the Rogue Guard is actually my top DPS, and the Dark Spirit is my second DPS. Dark Spirit is another thing people are asking in the comments. I think mixing Dark Spirit into Feather synergies is almost always good, because a lot of the stuff that Feather has issue with, the Dark Spirit helps you with. The one thing where I don't think that's true is against mages. So you can see us fighting a 6 mage right now, and the Dark Spirit is still the top in the DPS, so it helps, but it doesn't really get you over the hump. But here we go. I hit the items, so we got the Python wand. So we have that magic immunity. I'm also repositioning, and this is just going to help us get over the mage obstacle. So spreading out, we have our melee in the top, and we have our trying to suck the abilities into the separate area. Anyways, Dark Spirit gets off great ult. Pirate Captain, you can see, misses my Razor Claw. He misses my Fallen Witcher, and my Rogue Guard, I think, barely got hit. But anyways, so there we go. With the items, with the positioning, we get through the mage. And yeah, so this is why I just count this comp as quite fun. This was also, I want to point out, this video was before I learned about the positioning trick. So with the positioning trick, I think you could take this build and have an even better time of it, because druids are really good for baiting out abilities using the positioning trick. And you will see that in the next comp that we're going to, the next fun comp, which is going to be Feather Dragons. So anyways, here's the last round against this mage player, and you can just try to see the same thing, the out positioning. And you see me looking for that Doom. I was trying to think of how to get him in there, and yeah. And then it's like, what do I want to? Do I really want to take out a 2-star Dark Spirit? You know, it kind of becomes that, and then I realize, yeah, probably not. So I just stick with the Dark Spirit, and we go. And I think that's good to show on this, just because, just keep in mind, you're only going to be able to have the one demon other than your Fallen Witcher, because you need the Fallen and Taboo if you want to make use of the demon synergy. So you're going to need that, and you could give up the Dark Spirit and get the 2-star Doom, but I wouldn't recommend it. The Dark Spirit is still just really, really good DPS, especially if you have items. Anyways, fun build number 2, Feather Dragons. Here we go. This was, again, something I wanted to try. So verse 6 Mage 3 Dragon, I thought that this build was actually going to help a little bit versus Mage. So because Razor Claw is the key for mages, because Razor Claw has high magic resistance, and my thought was the mages will kind of, or the dragons, they get their damage out at the beginning of fights before the mages are going to get their ults off. So, and then Dragon Knight I can position away from the group and won't take the damage, so that was kind of my thought. But here is a Glacier Knight, so this is 6 Knights for Glacier with the Feather Dragon, and it performs surprisingly well. So once again, I think my big surprise out of all of this was Feather pretty heavily is pretty favored against Glacier, assuming equal levels. And you will keep seeing that I keep fighting this Glacier. And here we go. Here's the 6 Assassin. Remember, 6 Assassin was beating us when we were Feather Assassins. So let's see how it performs when we are Feather Dragons. And you can see the Taboo. By the way, one thing that in this game did help, though, is the 3-star Taboo to get on top of an Abyssal Crawler is very helpful. But still, once again, the Assassins win. And that's why I wanted to point that out. In this game, if you were thinking in the prior clips, oh, well, Chaos, you're losing to the Assassins because your Druids aren't leveled. Well, this time you can't say that. I have 3-star Taboo, 3-star Wisp, and I'm about to have a 3-star Trent Protector, Warpwood Sage. I always use the wrong name. Igren's going to be upset. And I'm still getting dominated by the 6 Assassins. But anyway, so positioning trick. Right, taking the Dragon Knight off, putting it back on to soak up the abilities. If you notice in this Dragon Knights, once again I mixed in our Dark Spirit. So Dark Spirit, just something that I think was consistently good, and you can see its DPS is quite high. And somebody in the comments was actually telling me, you know, you should take the Dark Spirits versus the Mages. And that was something I didn't really do before, because I thought I think of Dark Spirit as kind of slow DPS. So I changed that, so thank you for the comment. I definitely adapted my gameplay based on that. And here we go against the Glacier Knight again. And once again, the Dark Spirit definitely holding it down. And then you can see the Feather just tanking. The Taboo, the Razor Claw, everything. They slow it down. They let that Dark Spirit's damage get in there. And then the Dragon Knight also is doing quite well cleaning up. Here we go against the Dragon Mage again. And notice Dragon Knight, he's just kind of sitting there away from them, and just that AoE splash damage. And yeah, team cleans through. Razor Claw, once again with his magic resistance, is quite nice against Mage. And here we go. So here's the last fight. And something I want to point out is the Knight has hit multiple 3-stars at this point. So my 3-star Druid advantage has disappeared. He has as many 3-stars as I have, and he crushes through me. So rip. Basically, I was just too slow. I needed to push the pace of this game more, get levels, get those 3-stars quicker, and just push through and end things. If you enjoyed today's video and you enjoyed the new format, please smash that subscribe button, like the video, and comment to let me know, and that way I can keep doing these style videos in the future. And finally, if you wouldn't mind making me your creator for the auto chess game, it just helps me out a little bit. I make a little bit when you spend money on the game, so I really appreciate that also. Thank you very much.